Greetings, everyone. I hope you are safe and well. I know that the past week or so has been trying time for a lot of people. Many students have contacted me worried about class and due dates, about assignments for the course. I've talked with Dr. White and Dr. Hutchison, and right now what's important is you all focusing on your family. So and yourselves. But because folks had questions, I did go ahead and modify the syllabus. So I wanted to post a video because I know that it may be a little bit confusing in terms of some of the overlap in dates based on the weeks that we have, weeks 1 through 4 coming up, as well as the past week. But I wanted to just go over some of those changes, okay? Um, and so again, we are very flexible when it comes to these deadlines for the next at least 2 to 3 weeks, because we know that folks are trying to get situated and settled, and kind of back to their normal routine, and we know that that may take a while. So I do want to go over week 1. I know that we were in the process of finalizing the week 1 um, final written responses, when the storm hit. So I've extended the deadline for week 1 final written responses to the 12th of no to the 12th of September. Okay, so 9/12. This is all outlined as in the announcements also, but I want to go over it. Um, so the upload video deadline was 8/23, but final responses, written responses, has been extended to 9/12. Um, I am going to um, I'm going to upload the readings for this week, week 2, because we're in week 2 essentially. Um, so I'm going to upload the readings for week 2. I know that many of you um, have lost textbooks or don't have access to them anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and upload chapters 5 through 7 of Shank and Brown. I'm in the process of scanning those on my home scanner, so it's going to take me a little time to get that done and upload it. And I'm going to do my best to also scan Cresswell, also that the chapter 2 of Cresswell, and have that placed in the week 2 folder. Okay. Um, let's see here. So video upload, the due date for that is 9/8, and then final responses by 9/12. So I've given the same deadline for week 1 responses and week 2 responses, final written responses by 9/12, and that is just to basically kind of just open it up and allow folks time to have those discussions about past readings as well as present readings. Okay, let's see. There was also an assignment, which was the virtual lab school video professionalism assignment. That may have been in week 3 originally, but I've moved that down to November. So you may be looking for that in the syllabus, but I've moved that down because that's not something that we need to worry about right now anyway. So let's see here. So quiz 1 will begin. That will be next week. So that's a week 3 assignment. And so the quizzes will be placed on Blackboard. Okay, and you'll be able to go in and take those quizzes. So they'll all be placed on Blackboard. And you can access those. So for quiz 1, this is going to cover 3 areas: parts of a manuscript. Okay, and I have the APA codes there. Headings and series, and bias in language. Okay, so that's what the quiz 1 will cover. And so here for week 2, I have basically read over those section areas, answer some of the questions in the workbook. So do some of the workbook exercises that pertains to those areas to prep for the quiz. I've mentioned the upload video date, due date, and the final written response date there for the interactive discussion board 2. And then also there is a doctoral student disposition self-assessment. So that's also placed in the week 2 folder. You'll see that there. When you go in, just complete the first column, which is column I. Okay, column I stands for initial. Okay, the next column stands for final, and then the third column stands for professor. So basically, you will assess yourself at the beginning of the semester, the end of the semester, and then I will also go through and complete the form. So just kind of go through and reflect on each one of those dispositional areas, items, and rank yourself there. Okay. So this is more of this is an exercise in terms of personal growth and reflection. Okay. And as the syllabus states, as educational leaders, this is just as important to us as your coursework. Um, so take a little time to kind of go through that and to rank yourself in each one of those dispositional areas. Okay. And so that's due by the 10th. Also, so we're going to start to keep a spiral notebook, or you can get as creative as you would like. It could be more of a bound journal. But there, keep word collections. So any kind of interesting words that you think that may be useful or helpful to kind of to grow your vocabulary as you're writing. Um, it's basically more of a scholarly writing, academic word collection book that you're keeping. So as you read through articles, as you read through dissertations, you may find very interesting verbiage that pertains to your particular area of interest, um, or words or topics that you may be unfamiliar with that you may want to become familiar with. So you kind of want to write those things down and kind of keep that there. Kind of a growing lexicon of words that you will use as you write, and also anything that you may feel that you may have a personal editing issue or concern or a challenge with. So for me, I have issues with commas. I have issues with verbs that I use to describe various aspects of research. So I write down verbs all the time and different ways of transitioning from one sentence to the next. Words that I find interesting. So you're going to keep a word collection, also a personal editing checklist. And so you can typically I dedicate half of a notebook to a word collection, and then the other half I will label that personal editing. So you can put it like a little tab in your notebook in the beginning, just a little, just one of those little cheap tabs that you can find whenever you're trying to mark a page. When you're reading through your textbooks, I just kind of pull one of those and place it on the first page, and on that I will write word collection. And about halfway through the notebook, I'll just place another tab and I'll put personal editing. And I'll just kind of make notes of things that I have to be mindful of as I'm writing, that I notice that, or in terms of where I have issues. So I would just start doing that. At the end of the semester, I'm going to ask you to compile kind of a personal editing checklist, and I will place an example of that in Blackboard. Okay, so I'll try to get to it this week, but it may have to be next week. But I'll place an example in Blackboard for you. Chapters 5 through 7 of Shank and Brown, as I mentioned, as well as chapter 2 of Cresswell. I'm going to do my best to kind of scan those texts and place them on Blackboard. And as soon as the university reopens, I will definitely make sure to try to take my textbooks to the department and see if they can scan a few more chapters for you all. There are some restrictions on how much we can scan and place online of a book or a textbook because of copyright issues. But I'm going to see just how far I can take that and place that there for you all. And I'm also sure that there'll be other faculty doing the same thing, so there may be a backlog in terms of trying to get that to you all. But again, I will do my best to get that to you. So prep activity, identify qualities of effective literature reviews. So as you're kind of reading through articles, as you're learning more about literature reviews, as you're reading about literature reviews in Shank and Brown, just kind of write down some of the qualities of effective literature reviews. Just kind of keep in mind as you're going to be writing your own. For week 3, Okay, so that's when we're going to have the APA quiz. That will be due on September the 14th. Okay, and IDB3, the deadline to upload the video will be on the 12th. Final written responses will be due on the 16th of September. Okay. And the first written assignment, which will be the literature review assignment 1, LR1. LR assignment 1 will be to summarize and compare 2 articles on an area of research interest. Okay. So you're just going to summarize and compare 2 articles. Okay. I know that this, for some of you all, you may have much experience in terms of writing literature reviews. But for a number of you, it's been years since you have had to write a literature review. And so I kind of want to start kind of early on and get a feel for where you all are with regards to summarizing articles, and then we scaffold from there. Okay. But especially for the year 2 people, I know that you all have been writing your literature review for your dissertation. Just add to that, okay, based on your area of research interest, based on the topic of your dissertation. Just add to that, find a couple more articles, summarize those, and that can be what you will submit. And then for your 1 doctoral students, find a couple articles that you think that may be of research interest to you. And then that way we can kind of start to fill out topics that you think you may want to focus on for your dissertation. Okay. And again, word collection notebooks, so just continue to collect words that may be of interest or usefulness. Crestwell, chapter 1 of Crestwell will be assigned for week 3, as well as chapters 9 and 10 of Shank and Brown. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, still focusing on literature reviews, but at this point, introductions as well as abstracts. So that's what the readings are going to cover. The prep activity, students will reflect on belief systems using questions 1 through 3, stage 1 and table 1. I have a document that explains how to conduct a literature review. And so there are many different ways that you can conduct a literature review. There are many different types of literature reviews. And so this form that I'm going to give you all, this document that I'm going to give you all, has certain questions, certain stages that I'm going to ask you throughout the course to reflect on. So that way you can look at different aspects of what you have to consider when writing a literature review. And so for this portion, it's going to be about belief systems. And so I will make sure to have that uploaded for week 3. Okay. And when I do the video for week 3, I'll go into more detail about that. But I just want to give you kind of give everyone a heads up about what's going to happen in week 3, as well as week 4, because I'm having to modify the due date, so it's pushing us into week 4. Once we get to week 5, we're kind of back on track. So I wanted to make sure that I cover these first 4 weeks. Okay, week 4, exploring belief systems. So the prep activity in week 3 is just to get you kind of acclimated, just kind of wrapping your head around or familiarizing yourself with belief systems and research. Week 4 is where we actually explore them. Explore belief systems. So we'll have APA quiz 2 that will cover grammar, punctuation, spelling, and the use of hyphens. Okay, that will have to be completed by 9/18. You will submit your LR assignment 1. Okay, also on the 18th. And again, that's comparing 2 articles. Okay, 2 articles. And then you'll have IDB4 as well during this week 4, and that has a deadline for the video upload of 9/16 and final responses by 9/20. I will then assign LR assignment 2, which is to synthesize 4 more articles, okay, on area of research interest, and again for the written assignment 1, If you're in cohort 2, continue to focus on your dissertation topic. If you are year 1, you will focus on an area of research interest, and then that way you can continue to kind of flush out some of those areas of interest. So 4 articles that you're going to synthesize for the literature review assignment 2. Also, you're going to look at 2 to 3 potential topics and conduct preliminary searches in terms of topics of research interest. And if you're a second year doctoral student, then you just continue to do these things as they pertain to your research topic for your dissertation. And if you're a year 1 student, then you will use this to begin to do additional research and delve a little bit deeper into potential areas of research interest. Okay. So with the word notebook, we're going to look at transition words and hedge words. So that's something I'm gonna assign. That will be assigned to you during week 4 to look at transition words as well as hedge words that you can begin to add to your word notebook. And then the reading for that week will be chapters 1 through 2 of Mackey and McAvoy. And so that I will also post in the week 4 in the week 4 folder. Okay. And so prep activity will be that you will reflect on interests using questions 1 through 5 in stage 2 of table 1. Again, this is for the literature review handout that I'm going to place in Blackboard. So there's going to be some questions there to kind of guide you through some of those exploratory questions that can help you reflect on various areas that pertain to your literature review. Okay. So I know this is a lot of information, but I thought it necessary to kind of go over the first 4 weeks as the revised due dates are kind of pushed into week 4. And again, for week 5 is where we begin to kind of get back to what was originally outlined in the syllabus. Any questions at all, do not hesitate to contact me. I've had a few of you all to contact me. You can call me, you can send me an email. Feel free. Okay. Again, I know this is not an easy time for everyone to even have access to the internet, let alone to be able to work on assignments. I know that we're kind of dealing with, things personally, and so it may kind of divert our attention, from this. But just contact me, okay? And again, I've talked with Dr. White, Dr. Hutchinson, and we're completely flexible. We just want y'all to stay safe and to get situated. So. Okay, hope y'all have a good rest of the week. Classes do start back up next Tuesday, September the 5th. And so I will have another video uploaded by then, and talk with you soon. Okay, bye-bye.